Hello everyone, my name is John Michael Bushman and welcome back to Hearthstone. Today, I'm going to be highlighting a deck that I discovered off of the internet, and I was actually redirected here after doing some research onto content creators for the wild format here on Hearthstone, and Boogerworm was one of them. He has been iterating and been playing this very deck in front of you for however long he has been playing Hearthstone. As far as I know, I may be missing bits of information there, but for all the research that I've done, Boogerworm has this is his signature deck. It's his signature style of play. He prefers Druid, which already captures like 80% of my heart, and the other 20% is he plays Mill, and he is the king of Mill. And this is one of the more recent iterations of the archetype. It's card for card his build. I take absolutely no credit in this build in specific, but there are some changes that I would honestly prefer, like Floop's Gloop. A lot of Druid decks, from fair ones to unfair ones, they tend to have this card, just as a way to recoup a lot of the mana that you use when you're using board wipes, so that you can... It's sort of like a ritual in Magic the Gathering where you would sacrifice things on board and then you get mana in return. It's sort of like that in that regard. And that's exactly how it is used in a deck like Mill Druid. But I personally do not like it. I don't know why. I see this more as a card that you would use in very, very unfair situations rather than in a fair context. This isn't exactly an unfair deck. Its main goal is to, I mean, if you've been on my channel for any number of times, you would know that Mill is one of the first archetypes that I explored here on Hearthstone. And I have been looking for a content creator to, well, basically guide me in the direction of having a far more playable deck than my build, and lo and behold, well, I found Boogerworm, so there is that. If you've been playing on this format for a period of time, you would already know like a lot of these cards. And Aquatic Form just as extra card draw, Floop's Gloop, like I said, as a ritual to get mana and whatnot. Then of course a plethora of ramp and card draw spells. There isn't actually a lot of ramp in Mill Druid, surprisingly, because you would rather have that for control tools. And of course, Moonlit Guidance, being the crack task card that it is, still not nerfed to this day. And of course, other stuff like Mista Vista, hey, welcome back. I crafted him again, just as a way to double up on any and all spells that you cast in this deck. And the entire top end of this deck is all minions, and they're all really good minions at that. And Theater in the main deck is, well, it's definitely a choice, given how, well, a lot of decks rely on one or two cards to, pull off their game plan. ETC package, this has always been the ETC package in a lot of Druid decks. Forbidden Fruit, either to gain a lot of armor or to gain attack, especially when you're under Guff. Right here, and you set your mana crystals to 20, and then this is just sitting in your hand. You can deal 20 damage, like easy peasy. Then of course Jade Idol. If Kill Jaden gets burned somehow or it gets removed from play, this is your plan B. Skulking Geist is here mainly as a counter to Warlock, and it's still somewhat a problem, at least in my personal experience. So I would prefer this in the deck, and this iteration has King Togwaggle instead. So you can do with that what you will. You can replace that here instead, or you can just, be a lot safer and just have Skulking Geist instead. Other than that, yeah, I mean, it's Mill Druid. What more can I say? So let's just hop into these games.
Malfurion versus Uriel.
Up against Paladin, so there's really only one deck for Paladin right now, and it's not Libram Paladin actually. Holy Wrath Paladin has made an insane comeback in this format, and it's all due to one card that you get for free, as the Lost City of Ungoro is fast approaching us. So we might need these two cards in hand for what's about to come, so I will definitely keep these, if this is what I think it is, but we'll find out when we get there. Having to naturalize is nice. We can end up burning away some of his key cards should it come to that. Otherwise, we'll just draw cards on turn 2 with Cold Light Oracle, and we're gonna greet my opponent, just some pleasantries, but eventually I will start, milling him out. So there's that. Okay, it's Libram Paladin, because there's literally no other deck that uses the instrument tech here. Although, it is dangerous to make Libram Paladin draw a lot of cards because it will allow them to refuel. But in my personal experience playing the deck, and I do have personal experience playing Libram Paladin, it tends to churn through its deck really, really quickly. So your main goal as the person who is on the receiving end of the deck, just pack all of the removal you could possibly pack into your deck and just survive until then. At the current moment, this isn't anything dangerous, but we will eventually get to a point where, well, we will need to do something about what my opponent's gonna build. But definitely the more dangerous turns that Libram Paladin is gonna have is about turn 4 to 5, because that's when they will start like spitting out their entire hand. And it's going to be very hard for us to burn them to death that way. So we will literally need all of the removal that we're gonna get, or we can use Theotar to give them a useless card. So we're gonna see where we go from here. Opponent is attacking with that, so yeah, I'm not happy that I will have to do this here, just so that we can survive for a little bit longer. But we're not exactly being threatened yet, and there are definitely juicier targets later on. So I think we're just gonna draw a couple of cards first, and then yeah, I think that'll be fine. We'll just let the 1 mana float. I think there are far juicier targets for later, like let's say the Myrmidon, which will allow him to draw even more cards and allow him to churn through his deck even faster. So I'll definitely save my Naturalize for that. But if something else becomes more problematic, I'll definitely use the Naturalize like on this exact board right here. Good God. There we go. But definitely the Myrmidon is the higher priority target. Divine Brew is, well, you're seeing it here. It's in its nerf state. It used to give an attack boost. So there's that. Guff is our friend, yes, but I think we're gonna need more than that around these parts. So I don't think we can survive for too much longer. Although we do need to get rid of their card draw engine, so there is that. And then we need to get rid of their biggest minion. So goodbye for that. And then this will, we can sort of survive for a couple of turns here, but I don't know for how much longer. So we may have just lost, because I literally did not draw into any board wipe. So there is that. Unless my opponent screws up somewhere, although I could still possibly survive for 1 turn, but I'm gonna find out soon enough if this move here is either, because there's already 12. Yeah, 8 and 4 is 12, and then this is 14 damage coming at me right now. And they're still gonna draw a couple of cards because of Libram of Clarity and then Interstellar Researcher. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to be dead next turn unless they draw into another buff spell, which is very likely because it's fucking Libram Paladin. So either I see you guys at the moment where I recover, if at all, or I just see you guys in the next game.
Malfurion versus Anduin.
Up against Priest, and we will only know what kind of deck they are once they start playing shit out. So we'll get there when we get there. But for now, we could keep this just in case they are what I think they are, and we'll just ramp Invigorate and then turn 2 on Cold Light Oracle again, and then eventually we'll get into Theotar, then Seabreeze Chalice to hopefully remove problematic stuff that they could put down. But it could also be another variant of Priest that I've been seeing going around lately, and it's Thief Priest. I don't know why Thief Priest is suddenly gaining a lot of popularity, but here we are. And, well, it is Shadow Priest, so that's something. But there have actually been other variations of Shadow Priest that I'm seeing, and they don't involve pirates, which is fascinating. Or this is just a pirate Shadow Priest player that drew really bad. No, it did not. That is interesting. I mean, I don't want to have to make them draw cards, so we can still survive for a couple of turns, so it's safe to ramp here. As much as I don't want them to draw cards, we do need to draw cards, at least for our end. But we're gonna see what else my opponent could potentially have if we do need to desperately draw cards. Okay, it is pirates, so there is the possibility that they drew really bad, because normally I would be expecting like 4 to 5 bodies on board already. But I guess we're not gonna get that soon. If we do indeed make them draw cards, we will be having a very rough go about it. So we're just gonna do this. And then, yeah, I think I'd rather run this entire thing dry. Use all of the chalices here, and then hopefully we survive until then. I don't wanna, again, my opponent's like this very aggressive aggro deck. I don't want to give them any more cards than what they already have, because if I do that, then I'm the one who's gonna be shit fucked to infinity and beyond here. So we're just gonna let my opponent do their thing, and they are down to 1 card in hand, so there is that. They get their patches, so there is that. I can use Theotar eventually, especially if they only have 1 card in hand, and that will allow me to, well, just hopefully get somewhat ahead. ANR is nice and all, but I'm just gonna use myself to attack into the patches. I mean, if I crash into it, it's basically the same as patches attacking into me anyway, so it's fine. If they're not drawing well, then that means I have plenty of time here. That means I must not use any of my card draw spells because they are all symmetrical. And if I allow my opponent to refuel, well, I will definitely be shit fucked. So my opponent is pretty far ahead right now. I may need to draw cards like right now, just so that I can hopefully find an answer to the problems that I see on board. But otherwise, I could just very well be dead within like 2, maybe 3 turns here. So yeah, I'm definitely not confident in my odds here. So either I see you guys at the point where I stabilize, or we just move on to the next game.
Malfurion versus Anduin.
Up against Priest again, so let's just hope that this isn't Shadow Priest, but that is definitely hoping for way more. Normally I would mulligan away Frost Lotus Seedling, but letting them blossom has definitely saved me on a lot of occasions. But if I don't draw a ramp spell soon, then I will definitely be dead within like a couple of turns if this is Shadow Priest. But it's not. You don't normally see Ysera in Shadow Priest unless this is an XL version of it, question mark? No, it's not. So this could only be one other thing, and this is Thief Priest. It's the only other priest deck that I have been encountering as of late. No, it's not. It's a Seek Guidance deck, so this is very likely a Reno deck. And why do I say that? Because every priest deck that I've seen that carry Seek Guidance, they're usually Reno builds. So definitely one of the slower priest decks around, and it's honestly just no accident, especially when you're building a Reno in priest. You just somehow not have duplicates anyway, so because a lot of their other cards just do things that their other cards do anyway, and there's a lot of redundancy in said decks, and it pisses me off that priest gets to have a lot of things that paladin also has, at least in spirit. But my opponent hasn't exactly done anything yet, so we'll draw our 2 cards, gain our 10 armor. Let's see what we get. Those are pretty bad, unfortunately. We will play Guff next turn. We'll just draw even more cards. Oh, okay. It's Thief Priest with a flavor of Seek Guidance. So eventually they will use the Shard of Naru to kill me here. I don't think I need to kill this guy yet because he will copy 2 cards from my hand. So I guess we'll just play Guff, and he's our friend, and we're gonna see where this gets us. Rising Waves, again, my opponent's not exactly getting minions down, so having the incriminating Psychic is, well, pretty bad. Madame Lazul, she is gonna copy a card from my hand. I can only wonder what it is. Oh, dear God. Okay. Oh my god, my opponent is now in the 2nd stage, and this is why Reno builds are just, you know, good in Reno Priest, especially with Seek Guidance. You just accidentally get to it, so I will not be surprised if my opponent gets to it anytime soon. 5, and this is a 9 mana play. Do I do that? I don't think I should. I could get Rising Waves, but that will only kill Madame Lazul, so we're gonna Sea Breeze Chalice it. Hopefully get Lazul with both shots. No, we do not. So we draw 2 cards with the Oracle. See what we get. we burned Okani, so there's that. We sadly had to burn away our Theotar, and that's equally bad. But we do have a ramp card, so that's more than I could ask for. Okay, we got rid of Madame Lazul, so that's a victory in my book. Sad that I had to burn away sad that Theotar had to become a casualty, but at least I got rid of the Okani, so there is that. And yep, the presence of Raza the Chained is an indication that this is a Reno deck, so we're in for a grind, and I hope I can outgrind my opponent better. Opponent is using the same ramp shit that I am doing, so haven't been able to damage my opponent yet, simply because this guy has quite a thick booty, and I still don't get why. So we'll just use the last Seabreeze Chalice here, hitting both on that. We'll just sacrifice it there, because he literally has nothing else better to do. What I can do actually is copy the Incriminating Psychic here, and you know, start going from there. Or I can do this. We'll play Mista Vista, then we'll ramp, and then we'll do even more stuff next turn, because there's an aura anyway, so I can do even more shit. So there is that. And he can still get into that, and at least I don't have Kill Jaden yet, so good thing I've been, you know, saving the cards I have in hand. Let's just see what my opponent takes. He takes my I did not notice it. I just know that he took one of my minions, because the 3 cards in the center here are all minions. He did give me a Caesar's Expanse though, so yeah, that's something. He exchanged my Caesar's Expanse for his Caesar's Expanse. Why? Okay, at least it was him more than the other guys. So I can very safely use my Rising Waves here, because a lot of the minions on board are pretty thick and will survive a lot of stuff. So we'll do this. It will kill Raza though, so at least there's that. Now I could, but I'm not going to. I'd rather them do it on... Wait, they have 8 cards in hand. Ooh, I can make the mill, now that I think about it, because we're now under the effects of due process, and I can make the mill even more. So now that our hand is pseudo clear, we'll just rejuvenate, and we have all the mana in the world anyway, and my opponent is not built around drawing a lot of cards, so we'll see what they do from here. Okay, they have their Ysera, so there's that. It's not diamond, so there is that. Okay, they're healing. I don't know if I can even outgrind my opponent here, but we'll find out. Solar Eclipse and ETC. Sadly, I think we already have all of the minions that we need in this deck, so we'll draw our 1 card first. New Heights is something. I could double cast the Pendant of Earth. I don't quite remember what other minions I have in the deck, so we're just gonna do it anyway because I literally have nothing else better to do with my mana. Ooh, Cold Light Oracle is nice. I don't think I would want to get Kill Jaden because they have shown that they have a rat, and they could have other effects like it. I think I'll get 1 Cold Light Oracle, and then let's see what other minions are on offer. Oh, we only have 2 minions left in the deck. That is funny. I guess we just get Kill Jaden now, and we'll make my opponent draw even more cards. And I think my opponent's starting to burn his stuff here. Yeah, I don't mind burning a bit of stuff. And ooh, I burned away their Reno Jackson. Good. Sure, opponent. Good thing I pulled Kill Jaden out of my deck. Oh my god, I did not see the Soul Seeker coming. Oh, good thing I did what I did. There you go, opponent. Have fun with a 1-3. I didn't really need Finley anyway at that point, so we're both under the effects of a due process. So, and we'll be under the effect of 1 more. Okay, invigorate, and I believe. Okay, yeah, there's a board wipe incoming. Okay, let's cover a minion. Hello. Solar Eclipse, what will be double cast? New Heights will likely be double cast, question mark. Okay, or another due process. So now, we'll draw even more cards. We're under the effects of Lotheb. And his minions are pretty, well, let's say, pretty thick. So, we're gonna see if we can get a minion out of his deck. Not what I would have wanted, but, it's something. I guess we get rid of Ysera because it has the biggest booty. And then, we could... Oh, okay. Solar Eclipse is the one that, okay, that's interesting. That's how the Scenic Vista works. Huh. Okay, so it doesn't actually count the spells that come off of Scenic Vista. I did not know that was how it worked. So now I know, I guess. Now we do this. And, normally we get Skulking Geist, but, this is a Reno deck, so they probably don't have too many 1-drops in their deck anyway. So... But I probably do, just so they can get redundancy for the first stage. But I will definitely need to find a way to get rid of the Purified Shard. So, I think burning it away, and or at least not giving them hand space is going to be the route I'm gonna go to. So there is that. Okay, they're healing their Lotheb. That is fine. Okay, that's... I don't think they... This is like the lowest value Reno Jackson I have seen in a long while. Or as I prefer to call him, Cowboy Reno. Because that's exactly what he is. Replace your hand with a copy of your opponent's. Opponent, I don't think your hand is built to cast that many spells. You only have 15 mana to my 18. And I was casting a lot of ramp. So I may have more mana than you eventually. Okay, until the end of turn. So now his hand will go back to normal. Plus the stuff that he discovers off of Blessing of the Moon. So there is that. Okay, cool. Mind Render Lucia. So what did they use it for? Did they gain armor? Question mark. Okay. So his hand is coming back from Mind Render Lucia. Why did I say just Lucia? I have not seen this card like in ever, by the way. Although I have heard of horror stories involving the Mind Render, and they were not pretty. They were not pretty at all. We'll just keep ramping, and then we'll use Moonlit Guidance here. Floop's Gloop is nice, but I think I'd prefer to get Poison Seeds here. Then we play Renathal out. It's not a sign of weakness. If you're just doing it to intimidate your opponent, as we say. We'll get Shattered Reflections because we can. I guess we draw one card, but if we use our board wipe here, okay, we'll draw one card, see if it is, what we can do is, although we will not be left behind with a lot of mana, so I can annoy my opponent even more. So we'll use Solar Eclipse, and we'll double up on that, and then we'll use this. There we go. There we go, opponent. Enjoy your board. And now he'll start burning away a lot of shit. Hell yeah. Oh, when this deck pops off, it pops off really, really well. But even Boogerworm himself has said that Mill is one of the worst performing archetypes in the rank ladder, like at the current moment at least. And probably has always been. I'm not quite sure on the latter part of what I said. That was just me. But people still play the deck. People still love it. And there's a reason that... oh, wait. How much does it cost? Purified Shard. Oh, hey. What if... And I'm just throwing it out there. What if I burn it away? Especially if they don't have it here yet. But if they do have it and they manage to come in with it, then, yeah, kudos to my opponent. Wow, I did not think that they got Pendant of Earth. Oh, there are no more minions left in their deck, so... One of these cards is the Purified Shard. So... I mean, we could still die, and, you know, kudos to my opponent for surviving that long. But I think it's about time to, well, the Purified Shard is a spell, and that's unfortunate. I guess we just start by wiping the board here, because why not? Amanthul is just there, I guess. 2 cards left in deck. I mean, I guess we just throw it away now because we're under the effects of 3 copies of Due Process. so I don't think we'll need that anymore. Now, I mean, no matter what I do, I'm gonna die anyway. So, I'm just gonna attack, and then, you know, just give it to my opponent. I mean, if they drew it, they drew it. So, we're just gonna sit back and watch them cast the Purified Shard on me. Unless it gets burned away, but it's very unlikely. So, yeah, alright. They managed to play enough cards so that they have enough hand space. And, yeah, it is a spell. Good game, opponent. Let's move on to the next game.
Malfurion versus Villain.
I have faced off against 4 priest players in a row today. What the hell? What does my algorithm come to? I'm only gonna wait Solar Eclipse and keep all of the ramp and Mullet Guidance, just a way to tutor stuff, and Finlay if my hand becomes bad. So there is that. We'll definitely ramp on 2, then do this on turn 2. So oh, opponent just passed back. Okay, we'll greet them then. Wonder what's in their hand, and they didn't go into shadow form, so this is not Shadow Priest. It's likely something else. Don't know why they didn't play anything on turn 2, so we'll find out what they are very, very shortly. There's only one. Why did you not play anything opponent? Now you are scaring me. Now we'll just do the ice sculptures here, and one thing I discovered actually recently that some of the interactables, okay, Creation Protocol, I don't know what minion you have in the deck. You have a bunch of them, so there is that. Sometimes you have to press and hold in order for them to do their other actions. I guess we use Mullet Guidance, see who we get. Due Process is nice, but Guff is our friend, and we all wish that we were as nice as Guff. Excuse me. Now we just crack the ice again, and we got a Frozen Murloc. Then we pull down this chain. Then the door to the I believe this is the door to the Frozen Throne. I don't quite remember. I'll have to brush up on my Warcraft lore again. Okay, so we get Guff down just so that we draw 1 card. Then we'll Theotar next turn, and oh boy, I don't think I want to Theotar next turn. Now that I'm looking at my hand. Oh my god. We'll get rid of the Murloc there, and there we go. And I guess I finally won one. Don't know what my opponent was on, but okay then. Let's move on to the next game.
Malfurion versus Adonis.
This is the 5th priest player in a row already, Hearthstone. What the hell are you doing to me today?
The nightmare shall end.
What the hell? We have a due process. I would prefer to keep ramp, but the deck is called Mill Druid, so might as well. We'll just use aquatic form to hopefully look for a ramp. And we have a board wipe. Alright, cool. I have no idea what my opponent's on. We'll find out soon enough. We'll just break the glass of this church. And let's see. Okay, they are a 40 card build. They are XL Shadow Priest. Oh boy, we are in for a rough one here, folks. Let's see what's at the bottom. And, well, true to form, the ramp spell is at the bottom. Oh my god, let's get rid of that tile, and let's mess around with stuff here. Wow, turn 1, opening hand in a 40 card deck. Good god, you got Brain Masseuse already. How lucky you. Although, they could not be Reno, and they're literally just an XL variant of Priest. So, we do have Rising Waves, which will allow us to somewhat survive. It's because a lot of their minions have low health. Well, it's low-ish health anyway. So, do I make them draw cards? No, I don't think so. I'm gonna get rid of patches here, so that when I play Rising Waves, it's going to cleanly clear their board. But if they play Shadow Bomber here, then I will need to play the Cold Light Oracle instead. So there is that. And we just ring the bell there. Then, oh, Ashen Elemental. Hello. So will I be willing to take 2 damage for my draws? Probably no. But this is going to be the cleanest Rising Waves I have ever seen in my life. There you go, opponent. Enjoy your empty board, as I will enjoy mine. So there you go. they don't even need to draw cards. Wait, what does Ash Elemental say? Whenever you're gonna draw us a card next turn, they take 2 damage. Alright, cool. I won't be drawing too many cards yet, because we're not under due process. Wow, Narain Suit Fancy. Good god, they really are on the XL variant. So, those are 2 cards in hand that is going to cause them trouble the moment I show them this. Now, there's a possibility that they could burn away the fortunes. Because they will be drawing 1 extra card per turn. So I don't think well, not even Shadow Priest. I don't think that Priest by themselves can dump out their hand fast enough. But they are Shadow Priests and they have a pirate package, but I do not know what the other cards of that deck is. Or I think I know them, but I don't exactly know them by heart. So there's also that. Okay, sure, Narain making him a 6/5, which is very, very thick. I actually want to copy him so that I can know my draws. So there is that. Or I can actually also use Shattered Reflections so that I have a copy of... I have the 6/5 copy. Yeah, I'm actually gonna do that. Yeah, rather than use Bob here to put him in my hand. So yeah, that's actually going to be slightly better. Alright, cool. Another Cold Light Oracle. The game is telling me something here. So we do that. So we have another copy of Narain, and there's now another one in the deck. And we're gonna poke my opponent for 1 again. My life total isn't exactly at its best, but my opponent isn't doing what Shadow Priest normally does yet. They are getting close to it, but having the XL variant, while it gives you survivability against other aggro decks, you have shit like this. You're not killing your opponent fast enough to get to the point where you are going to, well, basically make your opponent try and quit Hearthstone. So there's that. Just noticed my opponent's name is H Fair Play. That's a unique name. Unlike mine, it's boring. It's just my real name. Okay, I'm getting swung for a bunch. I think the best bet here is to just, you know, sweep my, well, not sweep my opponent's board, but to just kill this guy in particular, because the Chirurgeon is a bitch to deal with. Ooh, so one of their fortunes was a Miracle Salesman, so that's, okay, deal 3 damage, minions get +2 health, that is saddening, and, okay, they killed that. And we just might be dead here. So, I mean, I can freeze them and stall for a turn or 2, but I'm not confident about my odds. So either I see you guys at the point where I stabilize, or, you know, typical control deck versus aggro matchup where the control deck usually loses. I just see you guys in the next game.
Malfurion versus Garrosh.
Up against a warrior, so there's only really one warrior deck, and it's control. Up against a fellow control deck, so there's that. Full mulligan this hand because none of these cards do anything on turn 1 to 2. So hopefully we dig into ramp or dig into removal. We dig into card draw and removal. So that's 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So that's something. Bobo the Raffle. That's a name and a half. Let's let the lightning strike here, and ooh, we do into ramp at least. So there's that. So we do that, and we'll beat my opponent and wish him good luck. So let's see what my opponent does here, and I'm gonna find out what kind of what flavor of control they are on. But if you're just gonna armor up and just pass a turn, then yeah, just typical warrior behavior right there. Let's see what we get. I guess we just ramp even more. And we're gonna see what else my opponent is gonna do here, if at all. They only have 3 mana so far, but they haven't played anything since turn 1. So I am scared as to what my opponent could potentially have, and we're gonna find out soon enough. If they even over planner is usually an indication that they are up to no good, and we're gonna find out exactly what they're up to, probably in short order. Although, this could also be an indication that they are a Reno deck, because usually the 40 health decks have Reno in them, especially the control variants. Well, except this one, because Mill Druid is Mill Druid. I'm gonna make my opponent draw those 2 cards anyway, because you know, I'm nice like that. And we're gonna ramp, and there you go, opponent. Have those cards for free. On me, of course. Then we're gonna use Seabreeze Chalice here to I could have actually just used Seabreeze Chalice, but I feel like that's such a waste, because why spend like 3 mana to kill that thing? Why would you play that raw? I don't know why. Opponent, what are you doing? Okay, do I play Mista Vista just as a tempo play? Probably. So that I can copy all of these spells in hand. We don't exactly have much, so we're gonna find out if my opponent reacts. Okay, Black Rock and Roll. That's usually an indication that they are indeed a Reno deck, but it's not conclusive because they haven't exactly shown much. So we're gonna find out what they are very shortly. So we do that, then we do this, we draw our 2 cards. Let's see what we get for 1 mana. Not much, unfortunately. Then next turn, we're gonna use Moonlit Guidance, and then that will draw us an additional card once the Scenic Vista does its thing. I just hope that I run across a due process soon. Okay, they are Reno, because Deep Miner Brand is usually only found in Highlander decks, and pure Highlander decks at that. Sorry, but I have to kill you, Mr. Brand. You're not good for my productivity here. Sir Finlay, I need your help. I need to draw cards. And I need due process. Help, find me due process, please. There we go. Alright, Rising Waves, Pendant of Earth, and not the stuff I'm looking for. We will get another Finlay. But we know what's at the bottom of our deck, so. Do we Pendant here? Well, first we ramp, then we draw a card with Enliven. Okay, Cold Light Oracle for next turn, maybe? Question mark? I guess we just do this again because I keep forgetting that we're under Scenic Vista. So, yeah, we just rejuvenate here and have enough hand space for when stuff gets added to our hand, which will be very shortly. Let's see what else my opponent does here, because they literally have not done too much, but once they start drawing the minions that they have that have been doubled by Black Rock and Roll, it's going to be a bad time for me here, because my board wipes don't exactly reach that. Well, except for Rising Waves, because the minions will be far too big for that. Definitely only Poison Seeds and the Caesar's Expanse are going to be enough to clear his board. But we do not know if we will even reach that point, unless I start something around the minion. Sure, that's fine. Brawl, why? Okay, opponent. Don't know why you would do that. Either this guy doesn't know what he's doing, or this is a streamer. That's usually an indication. As you know, their excuse would be, you know, chat made me do it. That could be a way to get out of it. So, okay, I'm being ramped very hard by the stuff that I got with the Scenic Vista. Okay, Wild Growth. Okay, I'm being, again, it's all ramped. Oh my god. Okay, we do this. And because my opponent hasn't been playing any minions, we're gonna do this. There we go. Make them draw 2 cards. I know what's at the bottom of my deck, so we're gonna do this. And we get Theotar. There we go. And then Cold Light Oracle. Let's see what we draw. There we go. We finally got a due process. And we got Poison Seeds as well. So we get due process down. Then we make my opponent draw even more cards. And then we draw 1 card of our own. There we go. Yes, your hand is full indeed. I think I'd rather have Killjade in hand now rather than later, just in case I burn him away. Burning their Ziliax and their Reno, that is insane. Oh god. Well, we're gonna get Thorgrund. Oh god. I mean, that's just how the game goes. Here's the thing. If I don't draw any of his TNT, I will be golden. But if I draw the TNTs, then we will not be golden. And that is unfortunate. What we can do, actually, is just going to kill Jaden now and get rid of the bomb problem entirely. We have enough mana to, last for that long. And I have a board wipe. And we have decent card draw and removal in hand. So, as much as I don't want to do this, I don't want to lose the stuff that I already have. There you go, opponent. And, do I play Bob here? I don't think I will. So, we're gonna play Theotar. We're gonna give them a useless spell. Preferably Rising Waves. Oh, yes! You thought you could get away with that, huh, opponent? Yeah, they can get the Sea Breeze Chalice. There you go. Now, we're gonna... Yeah, we're just gonna let him be. We're just gonna swing for one. There you go, opponent. Now I won't be affected by your bombs. There you go.
My hand is full.
Ivory Rook. That is a card that I have never seen in my life. Opponent is going for playables there. Sure, that's fine. Okay. They got 2 because they're under Deep Miner brand. That is fine. I think we're still fine, question mark. We're gonna find out soon enough. Okay, Igneous Lava Gorger. They're gonna dredge twice, and they're gonna gain a lot of armor out of this one. So, we're gonna find out. Okay, they have a 7 cost at the top of their deck. And then, what else could they possibly have? Okay, now it's a 4 cost. So, okay, exchanging, trading Organon with that. That is fascinating. We got a Doom Guard. That is extra thick. So, do I do that? My minions are gonna die anyway, no matter what I do here. That is very, very sad. So we just wipe the board anyway. Then we just start filling it with demons. There you go. There you go, opponent. There you go. I guess we just kill these two because we can. Because none of his, shuffle stuff into the deck is gonna work anymore because I have an Endless Portal stuff, so... sad that we weren't able to stack a lot of due processes on top of my opponent, so... We'll have to play this very, very fairly. And we'll find out. Okay, cool. My board is wiped. I don't think I care. North of Theron, sure. That's what my Ceaseless Expanse is for, so... There is that. Okay. I'd rather not have that. That is why. Seabreeze Chalice is just gonna tickle Lorthamar here, so we just I guess we just put down the minions and not care too much. And, I'm saving the Frostlotus Seedling for when it blooms so that we have even more value out of it. So there's that. Okay, cool. Let's see what else my opponent could potentially have here. Because eventually my demons are gonna become so big that he can't deal. He will not be able to attack into my face anymore. So we'll get there when we get there. But for now, my opponent's just gonna do well. Yep, I think that's above what I expected. He would rather attack my minions rather than attack my face. So that's saving me a lot of health. And, that is fine by me. Ooh, that's usually an indication that they have something unfair coming up, and I do not like it. So, we're gonna find out what it is soon enough. And good God, that is a huge-ass minion. I may be dead very, very soon. I can only do so much, unfortunately. Unless I draw a Taunt Demon. I draw a Taunt Demon. Very good. Destroy a random minion for each player. No, I don't want that. No. I'm gonna gain a bunch of armor. And hopefully... Ooh! Omen! Hello! Give my hero +3 attack. Yes, please. But now I won't be able to play Omen. Great. At least I have a taunt minion. So... That's more than what I could say. For whatever it is I have here. Destroy a random minion for each player. I don't want to have to do that. But, Omen is going to wipe my opponent's clock next turn. But I will be taking 20 here because I did not count my mana well. I guess I'm just dead next turn, question mark? No. Okay. They sacrificed their own board, so thanks, I guess. Okay. Deal 5, sure. Deal 10. Okay, sure. From the depths, sure. I think we're just dead here, question mark? Opponent's board is a bit too huge, so I mean, I can still wipe his board. If control no material shield, deal damage. Okay, I mean, why not? So 3 damage. They're just gonna get tickled, but I literally only see this expanse or bust. I'm not confident about my odds, so I may just cut it here and we just move on to the end screen. But I'm going to play it out, and it's 2 control decks facing off against each other, so this is gonna take a while. I'll just come back in with you guys should anything else more interesting happen. So, okay, we're here at the end screen, and well, it performed about how I expected it to. In spite of all of the control tools that we have been getting over the past couple of sets, it simply cannot hold too much of a candle against what the wild format has become as of late. You can still do it. Don't get me wrong, you can still get a few wins here and there, but it's going to be one hell of a struggle. The only other thing I can say here is just follow Booger Worm if you want updates on the Mill Druid archetype. He will keep iterating on this deck because he loves this deck and class so much. He's going to be the guy to go to for advice rather than me, because I just love playing Mill Druid, and I don't have the insights that he has, so there is also that. And yeah, there's nothing more I can say, nothing more I can add. Just go to the expert instead. So if you guys like what you saw, hit like, comment, subscribe, and share this among your friends. And until next time, toodles.